Rare circulating coins, these that have a value between $3 and $11.50. These are the state and territory coins, Centenary of Federation, and this particular one is South Australia. You see that on the edge of the coin up the top here, and a cool design. So each state and territory has a different design, and it's to commemorate 100 years of the Federation in Australia. So 2001, Centenary of Federation state and territory coins. Between 2 and 3 million of each design were produced, but they're really hard to find because they're really cool collector's items for coin collectors. So that's why their values are up a bit higher. And to collect the whole set, you can buy the sets between $35 and $80 is a recently sold price range on the complete sets of them. But it's really cool to find them in your change. And I've got a roll of 20-cent coins to search right here, so $4 worth. So we'll get into this lot. We'll see if we can find one. But there's plenty of things to look for on the 20-cent coins. And if you're after those coin value lists, they're available through the link in my account by clicking my profile picture and the link below the Australian flag. Let's get into it. Let's go. All right, we'll get the bag into position so we can drop the ones we don't need and we hold on to the ones we do. Checking the years. Here we go. Oh, I thought that was a 66. That there's something on the 1966 20-cent coins called a wavy baseline that you definitely want to keep your eye out for because they're worth minimum hundreds of dollars. 2008, you can get a wave gap. So this little wave down here near the platypus's head, it comes in, the point of the wave comes in and it touches the platypus's head. Now, sometimes that point of wave stops a bit further back over here and there's a gap through there. So if you can find that, $3.20 to $10 is a recently selling price range. There's a fair few of those 2008 20-cent coins, so you get plenty of chances to look for them. $2024 King Charles. So what do we got here? We've got $1 to $4.85 is a recently selling price range on those coins. So I'll put that aside. Got a fair few of those actually. So that maybe those mintage figures are going to go higher. Yeah, this year. So we'll wait and see on those. But yeah, from that lot, we've got the 2024 King Charles coin. But yeah, definitely keep your eye out for the Centenary of Federation. Each state and territory has a different design. So there's some really cool designs out there. This is the South Australian one. Good luck. Hopefully you find some. Coins worth money. This one was produced for circulation, so you can find these in your change. 1991 was the year this was produced, so that's the year you look for. Recent selling price range, $3.50 to $18 each. So to coin collectors, 1991 there on the list. Ram's Head, 4.7 million of those coins were produced. So that some of them are out there, but they're pretty hard to find because it's a unique design and coin collectors have been putting them away for years, but they're still out there. So you can find some. I've got a fair few of them, so you can find them too. And this is what you do. You can search through coins like this. I've got a roll of 50-cent coins right here, $10 worth. So I'm going to check through this lot and see if we can find something cool like the Ram's Head 991s. But there's plenty of things to look for. So the lists are available through the link in my account. And the recent selling prices of those coins to coin collectors are on the list. So good luck with your searches and good luck with your coins. You might have a little bag or a jar or a little chest of coins at home and you can just check through them and see what you've got. So those lists are available through the link in my account by clicking my profile picture and the link below the Australian flag. Let's check what we've got right here to see if I can add something else to the collection. These 2014s, you look for a crop circle. So this little void right here, you can get a little circle type feature, but this one doesn't have it. So we'll continue on. The search continues. 2021, I've got a feeling. No, not 2021, but I just checked on the list there, but not a low mintage date. And low mintage means how many they made. And if it's low, they didn't make many in certain years, and they're the ones that you want to aim for, because supply and demand drives price. And if there's a low supply, then the price is usually a bit higher. Let's check this is a 1980. You're looking for a double bar. So two little lines of metal behind the emu's head. I think this one's got a very faint double bar. I'll just try and zoom in a little bit further. I probably won't keep it because it's so faint, but I think there's just a hint of a line there and a hint of a line just up there. Just sort of tilt it around. Oh, probably not, but I won't keep it anyway because it's so faint that it's not really a sort of valid one in my estimation. So there we go. Well, 2013 is looking pretty fresh. It's not a low mintage year, but any coin in really good condition is probably worth holding on to. So I'll check my collection of one coin from each year and see if that's better than the ones that I've got. 1980. Check this one. Oh, it's a little bit dirty, but checking for a double bar behind the emu's head. Not there. I like coins that look a bit like this. The only reason I won't keep it is because of the green over here. Now that green can be, they call it coin cancer. What's it called? Verdigris or something like that. And it's a bit, yeah, it can sort of affect other coins if you've got them near that. So I think that's what that is. But that's a cool looking coin. I would have kept that if it didn't have that green sort of appearance, because I reckon that's really cool. I like that sort of look. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. This one's got a bit of it too. And this is what can sort of happen. See those two coins? That one was there, and then this one's got dirt. That might not be the green, but who knows? It might have spread. Checking this one, 2014 for the crop circle. Not there. Oh, this one is a keeper. So 2019, there was two different designs of the Queen on the 2009 50-cent coins. This one's got a little JC over here. That stands for Jodie Clark, the designer of this image of the Queen. It's got the necklace on. There was an image that is the IRB, Ian Rank Broadly, which was the image of the Queen. I'll see if I've got one. So I think it's this design right here. So they had this design on the coins from about 2001 to 2019. Ian Rank Broadly, the initials there. So that's the design you can find on a 2019, and that was the newer one. So both of them are worth holding on to. But this one here, this particular one, I'll just check it. So the JC, $2.10 to $11.50 is a recent selling price range on those. 1979, we'll check for the double bar behind the emu's head. Looking up here, might be a slight hint of a lower bar, but not enough for me. Here we go, Weary Dunlop, cool coin. Made a fair few, so I'll let it go because I've got a lot in really good condition, but I'll let that one go back out. Someone else can snatch that one up if they're searching for coins. And last one right here, 2013, but yeah, a couple of little keepers from that lot. So the 2013 in pretty good condition there. Nice. And the 2019, that's a JC, wasn't it? JC design. Yeah, so that one there, I'll put those two in the collection. But yep, definitely keep your eye out for these ones as well. The 1991 Ram's Head, cool design. There we go. It's a commemoration, 25th anniversary since the centenary of Federation. So the Ram's Head was on the shillings coins, the pre-decimal shillings coins. So this is a bit of a throwback to that. Do you notice anything about this coin that makes it worth up to $25? Take a close look. Here we go, 2014. The kangaroos on this side, called a mob of roos. And here's a recent selling price range. $2.50 to $25 is a recently sold price range on these particular coins. They only made 1 million of the kangaroos design in 2014 because they made a lot of the Anzac designs that year. So that is why. Keep your eye out for it. Yep, so you look for the year, 2014 kangaroos. And if you want those coin value lists, they're available through the link in my account by clicking my profile picture and the link below the Australian flag. Got a bag here. We're going to search through this bag. We'll keep that 2014 to the side and we'll check this lot, see if we can add something to the collection. And hopefully you've been having a great day. Things are going well for you. And let's see what we've got here. Cool. Zoom in. Need to see those years and also some errors on these coins. In 2016, that year right there, sort of known to have some of these blob of metal errors where you can get extra blobs, which can add a little bit of value, and it's interesting. I like to hold on to them. Another 2016. Just checking around the coin, the top kangaroo, the side kangaroo, the second kangaroo. Look for blobs on the backs of the kangaroo, all sorts of things. Oh, these ones here, they made a lot of this one. This one's in pretty good condition. The father of Federation, Sir Henry Parkes. These apparently can be rotated. I've never found a rotated one of these, but what you do, you hold it at the top and the bottom, and you flip it around, and if the Queen's nose is not pointing to 3 o'clock, it's called a rotation. So keep your eye out for that. I've never found one, so I'll keep on searching though. Got to be in it to win it. Another 2016. I need my little pointer so I can sort of point out where you sort of look on these coins for those extra blobs. If you get a blob on the back here, called a backpack. If you get a blob on the neck, called a rabbit ears. If you get a blob on the back of this kangaroo under the mouth, a spewroo. You can get a spewroo down here. You can get little spikes on the back of this one. You can get a bit of doubling of the tail. Get blobs down the front flank of this large kangaroo as well. So lots of different things to look for on those kangaroos' designs. So if you go slow, you'll see them every now and then. Now this 2015, the 2015 coin, sometimes this back leg right here underneath the belly is missing. So if you can find that missing leg, $2 to $8 is a recently selling price range on those. You can get a bit of extra metal through the grooves on these coins, through these little gaps here. That's just a bit of dirt, that black stuff there. 2008s, these are sort of known to have that extra doubling of the tail, the happy root. You can also get a blob sort of in this sort of section of the one on the 2008s. So Charles Kingsford Smith, they made a fair few of those. What have we got? We've got about 5 coins to go. Wish me luck. Let's go. 2015. This could have that missing leg. So this can... Oh, no, I can see it there under a different... It looks missing there. But if you just tilt it under a bit of light, you can sort of see a little bit of an outline of the leg there. And that's why it's good to sort of check it under different lights, because some people would pass that off as a missing leg, but you can just see a little bit of it there. Under certain lights, it doesn't look like it, but I wouldn't claim that personally myself. Last coin, 2005. These can have a little bit of extra metal across the top of the hat of the coin. So if you get a little bit of extra metal across the top of this coin's hat, what is it, 2005, $8 to $19.50 is a recently sold price range if it's got that extra bit of metal across the top of the hat. Good luck with your searches, and we'll see you on the next one. This blob is a mistake which makes it worth more to coin collectors. You see, it's supposed to be open like a gap like this side, but there's a blob there, and that makes it worth between $1.50 and $13.50 to coin collectors. So here it is on the list. It's a 2005 50-cent coin called a Robe Cud. Coin underdeveloped is what happens, and it can allow some extra metal on the coin, which is a minting error. And yeah, coin collectors like that because it's quirky, it's something different, it's interesting, and that's what makes them worth a little bit more. I've got a roll right here. We'll search through this lot, see if we can find something cool to add to the collection right here. Hopefully you've been having a great day and things are going well for you. Let's see those coin value lists if you're after those through the link in my account. But here we go. Hopefully this roll unearths something that I can add to my collection. So we'll get the bag into position and go through each and every coin. Zoom. Checking the years. On this, oh, here we go. This is a keeper right here, 2019. There's 2 different designs of the Queen on the 2019 coins. They changed, updated the design. So both of them are worth holding on to. This particular one, I'll just find it on a list here, $2.10 to $11.50. This is the JC. So on the shoulder of the Queen, JC, Jody Clark, the designer of this image of the Queen. So there we go. Put that aside. Cool. Oh, Silver Jubilee, $9.77. So a recent selling price on this, $1.60 to $15. Cool. This one here looks like it might have been squashed. Maybe on a tram track or something like that. But yeah, not a minting error. Something that's happened after it's been minted and it's been in circulation. 2010, we checked these for rotations. Ooh, not rotated. So the Queen's nose pointing to 3 o'clock. If the Queen's nose, when you hold everything upright on this side at the top and the bottom and you spin it around, if the Queen's nose is pointing a different direction on these 2010 50-cent coins, $30 to $50 is a recently selling price range on those. 2018, that's a lower mintage year. So on these, $2.10 to $9.50. This one looks in pretty good condition. They made a fair few of these coins, so I tend to let them go unless they're in good condition. Although it does have a fair bit of dirt on this side and little hints of green, and that's that verdigris stuff you don't want because it's like a bit of corrosion and it can affect your other coins that might come in contact with it too. So I'll let that one go for now. $79, we'll check this for the double bar. So behind the emu's head, you can get 2 little lines of metal. This one doesn't have it. Last coin right there. So 3 keepers from that lot. We've got the Silver Jubilee from 1977. We have got the 2018 low mintage. And we've got the 2019 low mintage. 3 keepers. But yes, keep your eye out for this particular thing. I'll zoom right in on it. There it is, that blob of metal down the bottom. Boom. That's what you look for. A Crux $1 coin. I don't know what a Crux is, but it's on a coin. At $140 to $180 is a recently sold price range for the coloured Crux coin. So only very few of them had the colour on them, and they're from the Great Aussie Coin Hunt. So 2022, Great Aussie Coin Hunt, but only some of them had the colour on them. Only 19,500 in fact. And this one here has been graded by PCGS, so Professional Coin Grading Service, and the MS stands for mint state, and the 68 is the grade of grading. Up to 70 is the best that it can possibly be, so 68 is pretty good through to 70, and this one here, yes, I purchased this one, but Great Aussie Coin Hunt 2022, and that is the only one from that collection of 26 different things that you can look for and find that has the colour on it. So Great Aussie Coin Hunt, oh, I've got a bag right here, so we'll see if we can find any of those coin hunts in this bag right here. And if you want those coin value lists available through the link in my account, let's go. Hopefully you've been having a great day and things are going well for you. Let's get the bag in a position so we can drop the ones we don't need, but and we'll hold on to the ones we do want. So this particular coin in front of us right here, you can get a little bit of a blob across the top of the hat. And if you find that, $8 to $19.50. So definitely worth keeping an eye out for that. Oh, 2 in a row. And neither of them have that blob across the top. I have one on my desk here. I'll just grab it. I think it's this one right here. Yeah, this one here. So this is what you look for, that extra piece of metal across the top of the hat. It looks like that. I'll get a really close zoom in there. See that? That's what you look for. So it's like a bar, isn't it? Like a little bar across the top of the hat. That's what you need to look for. So that's pretty cool. Put that back so I don't get it confused. So Charles Kingsford Smith, they made a lot of those. They made a lot of these too, but it's a cool design. Cool. 1988. Just come out a little bit with the zoom. 2018. It looks pretty fresh, doesn't it? I'll just see if it's on the list. No, just the Anzac coins from 2018 are worth holding on to. Another 2018 right here. $2019. There's lots of different things on the 2019s that you can find, but this particular one is the most common one, so we'll let that one go. All right, what have we got? A small little handful to go, about 8 coins or so. $2015, you can get a missing leg. The third kangaroo down, 1, 2, 3. That back leg can be sometimes be missing, but I can see the outline of it. We'll just check this little section there. Yeah, it's just a little bit of something on the coin. It looked like it might have been a little bit of a blob of metal error, but it wasn't. Sir Henry Parkes. I was going to say Sir Charles Kingsford Smith, but no, Sir Henry Parkes. Check that for rotations. And the last coin, the Scouts coin. They made a lot of these, but if you like this design, hold on to them. Put them in your collection. And if anything in good condition is worth holding on to. So unfortunately, this one's pretty circulated, so I'll let this one go. But the Scout Centenary of Scouting. Cool. First for this one, 1969 was the first year of this shape, the dodecagon, for the 50-cent coins in circulating coins. So that makes them worth $1.80 to $18 to coin collectors. So if they're in really good condition, up to $18. And I've got one on the end of this roll right here. So we'll zoom in on the date. See that date right there, 1969. So the first time that these were produced in that shape. So keep your eye out for them. Coin value list available through the link in my account. Let's see that one and see what it looks like. Just looks like all the 50-cent coins that we're used to seeing. But yeah, prior to this, they were round and they were silver. That was just 1966. and then they had 2 years off producing them for circulation, and they went to this shape right here, 1969. So pretty worn, and fair enough because it's been a while. It's been a while. It's been in circulation. We'll check the rest of these coins. We'll get the bag down here into position. Make sure we don't lose that 969, and away we go. They did make a fair few. Well, they made 14 million, so that sounds like a lot, but it's not a huge amount for circulating coins. Anything over 10 million starting to get a bit more common, but because they're so old, just checking this one for the double bar behind the emu's head. Can't see 2 lines of metal, so we'll continue on. Yeah, because they're so old, a lot of coins go missing and some get damaged and they get taken out of circulation and coin collectors hold on to them, so they become harder and harder to find as time goes on. Here we go, we'll check this one for the double bar too. So what I'm looking for on these 1979s is 2 little lines of metal coming in at the emu's head. This one doesn't have it, but if you can find those 2 little lines of metal, just check on the list here. What do we got? $2.20 to $48.50. If they're in really good condition, $48.50 is what a recently sold one sold for. All right, continue on. At least we got one. We had one on the end of the roll. This one's fairly fresh for a 1975. That's a fair while ago. I might hold on to that one. Higher mintage, 975s, but this one's just in fairly nice condition, isn't it? Nice one. Okay, so this is the Melbourne Commonwealth Games coin. Made a lot of these. Oh, 2017, that's a lower mintage year. It's got a fair few scrapes, so I might just let it go. But it is a lower mintage coin. I'll just check the prices on these. So we've got $1.50 to $16.50, 8.2 million of these coins produced. I've already got a few. I've already got a fair few of these, but yeah, because of the condition's pretty scratched up, I might just let that go. Someone else might be able to pick that up, add it to their collection if they haven't got any. But yeah, from this little search, 975 in really nice condition. And, oh, where was it? Oh, here it is. It's under the bag. There we go. The 1969 50-cent coin. Cool. Now, I really like coins like this. It looks a little antiqued, as though it's really old, but I'm not sure exactly what's happened to this coin, but I like it. It's really interesting. They're supposed to be silver type looking, these Australian 10-cent coins, but yeah, I do like that, and that's why I've got it in this special holder. This is a lighthouse holder, quite a good quality one. And yeah, that coin isn't on the list, the Australian 10-cent coins to search for, low mintage and the error coins and things like that, because it's just a standard issue coin. But for some reason, maybe it's been down a well, maybe it's been in the dirt for a long time, or I don't know, but I think it's really interesting. So when I find coins like this, I tend to hold on to them because I find them interesting. But yeah, there we go. We've got a roll. These are 10-cent coins. They're supposed to look like that. Not like that, but I like that. Here we go. We'll check these. We'll see if we can find another one of those or anything else from those lists. So let's go. Let's get into it. Whew. 10-cent coins. It's been a little while since I've done 10-cent coins. So it's good. It's good to be back. Let's go. Let's get the bag over here into position. And we'll get the right amount of zoom so we can see the years and maybe the odd error. Maybe a little bit closer again. There we go. Ooh, that's pretty close. Back out a little bit. Okay, we're set. A couple of really good years, low mintage years that are worth a bit more. 1985, 2011. I'll jump around a little bit, but 1991s, 1997s. Hey, there we go. There's another one that looks a little bit different, but not quite as cool in my opinion compared to this other one that I've got right here. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, I think the one at the bottom's a bit cooler. I'm not sure what's happened. Maybe burnt or something like that. 2006. Oh, these 1999s, you can get a small head and a large head. I'll just get my little pointer. And to tell the difference, if the letters and the numbers are pushed right up against the rim, that's the large head. They're the rarer ones. And if it's got a gap like this one does, so they sort of gap between there, these ones are a bit more common. But yeah, if you find the large head 1999s, just looking at the prices, $3.50 to $6 each. 1966, some of these can be rotated, so we'll check this one out, see if it's rotated. A bit of an error. Not rotated. That's the first year of those 10-cent coins, 1966. 2020. No, I just checked the list. No. All right, last little patch right here. Wish me luck. Let's go. 92. We wanted 91. 2013. We want 2011. '98. We want 97. Last one. Last chance right here. Let's go. Oh, this one might be 2019. We want the 2019 with the JC. This is the IRB. Underneath the neck, IRB, Ian Rank Broadley, the designer of this image of the Queen. But in 2019, they developed a new image of the Queen and produced not many of those ones. And it's got the necklace and it's got a JC, Jodie Clark design, the newer image of the Queen. So do keep your eye out for the 2019 with the newer image of the Queen on the 10-cent coins. So that's one to keep your eye out for. So I'll let that one go because that made a lot of that particular design. But yes, I do appreciate things like this. Good luck with your searches, and hopefully you can put some cool coins in your collection that you appreciate. Yeah, super unlikely this. Those are a different design 50-cent coin, and there's one on the end of each end of this roll. So that is unlikely. They made a lot of them, so they're not on the Australian 50-cent coins to search for lists because they made 43.1 million of this particular design, but they only made this in 2001. So it's still interesting. We'll get all these coins out of this roll and we'll check them all out. So let's get into it. Hopefully you've been having a great day. Let's do this. But yeah, having one on the end of each roll, on the end of each end of the roll, is highly unusual because, yeah, like I said, they've only produced for that 1 year. And the chances of it happening like that are very low. Now, they're pretty worn, they're pretty circulated, so I'll let them go because they're high mintage coins too. Got a fair few of them already, so don't need to add any more at this stage. The 2017 is worth holding on to, so this could actually be a few different things. That's yep, just the standard design. But yeah, this is still worth holding on to. So what do we got here? $1.50 to $16.50 is a recent selling price range on those. These ones, they made a fair few of the Bass and Flinders coins in 1998. 2007, you can get a bit of doubling around the 5 and the 0. That one didn't have it. 2022, no, not a keeper. I think they made a fair few of those actually. These ones, they made a fair few, but it's a really interesting design from 1977, the Silver Jubilees. So recently sold price range on these ones, $1.60 to $15 each. 2007, check for a bit of doubling. No doubling I can see. 1980, let's check for a double bar. So behind the Emy's head, we're looking for 2 little lines of metal coming in. No lines of metal. But if you find a 1980 double bar, $3.50 to $35 is a recent selling price range. Check this one for a little blob on the top of the helmet of the soldier on the left-hand side over here. Also look for a blob at the bottom of the robe of this gentleman here. So check those 2 things. Adds a bit of value if you've got either of those. $2014. And last one right here, 1971. So from that roll, we've got a Silver Jubilee, cool, and a 2017 lower mintage coin. Nice. Ooh, one of these days I'll find one of these mules, and if I don't find one, I'll buy one. But I've still got the patience at the moment. They're worth a lot of money. Here we go, $250 to $1,380 is a recently sold price range on the $1 mules. This is what they look like on the bottom of the $1 coin value lists, and on the Queen's Head side is where the detail is that you want to look for. So a double rim effect in the coin, in the metal of the coin on this side of the coin. And what happened was it was accidentally struck on this side of the coin with a 10-cent piece of information. And because the 10 cents are a little bit smaller, it created this double rim effect in the metal. Not many of those coins had that in the year 2000s. Only a few of them got out, probably a few thousand, but they're very hard to find. That's why the prices are up. But yeah, people still do find them, and yeah, you can buy them on sites like eBay. So if I need to, I'll buy one, but I'm still got the patience at the moment. I'm hoping that I can still snag one. So wish me luck and good luck to you. Hopefully you find one, because they are super cool coins. Super cool. Bit of an error, a mistake that's worth money. All right, let's do this. Let's get a few of these together, and we'll check this lot, see if we can snag a mule right here. There's actually a few different years that you can get a mule. Pretty, very rare. 2024. Okay, this one's a bit of a keeper. I'll just check on the list. What do we got? King Charles, $2.20 to $6. I've actually been finding a few of those. 2022, just check the 2022. Yeah, $2.20 to $10 on those. So two straight out of the gate. There we go. Yeah, okay, so I'm finding a fair few of those, but I'll still put them aside for now. Maybe they've pumped out a few more, so the mintage figures might go a bit higher on those 2024 King Charles. 2018, a little bit harder to sort of read that. Pretty worn, that one. Checking for blobs of metal, the little errors you can get on the coins. But we want the year 2000. So this is quite common. This is 985. It's got this black ring effect around the coin, and it looks like a grey lead pencil on both sides of the coin. Very common on the 1985. So it's not the double rim mule, because it's not indented or anything like that. And I think it might be the rolling process or something that sort of happened where a lot of these coins had that, just a black type, grey lead pencil type mark on those 985. So unfortunately not an error. This one here has probably been sanded down by someone from the public, so not a minting error, but it looks pretty cool. It looks interesting, a bit different. But yeah, not really an error coin as such. What do we got? 1984, the first year. A few coins to go. There's a fresh one there. That's the fresh one straight up. Probably a King Charles 2024. There we go. So, yeah, probably going to be a higher mintage on those. Check for the extra metal across the top of the hat on those ones. Not on that. And last coin right there. I'd love to find one of those mules. Good luck with your search. Hopefully you find some cool ones to add to your collection. Come on now, up to $50 potentially for this 50-cent coin. It is a 2010. If it's rotated, then $30 to $50 is a recent selling price range on these. Let's check that out. So that is a 2010. There's a couple of different things it could be. So we'll get this coin out of the roll right here. We'll check it out and we'll see if I'm lucky to have a $30 to $50 50-cent coin. That'd be cool. I like it. I've never found one of the 50-cent rotations, but I have found rotations on other coins that make them more valuable. Let's see what we've got. So what you do is, on this side of the coin, you need to make sure it's the coat of arms. There was a different design in the 2010s as well. So you hold it at the top and the bottom, and you turn it around, and if the coin's nose is not pointing to 3 o'clock like that, then that is a rotation. So if it's pointing to a different direction when you turn it around, unfortunately, I did not get it. So I'll keep on searching though, and it's good to know because there's lots of different things to look for that can be worth a lot more to coin collectors. Like 1979, this is a 1979. If you've got 2 little lines of metal behind the emu's head, this I might have one. No, not sort of catching or anything like that, but 1979 double bars are worth more as well. These ones here, you look for a little bit of a blob on the top of the helmet and on the bottom of the robe. That can add a bit of value as well. A few dollars of value there. Going through them quick, checking the dates. 1969, that's a bit of a lower mintage year. Pretty worn and pretty dirty, this one, but I'll just check the prices to let you know. $1.80 to $18 is a recently sold price range in the 9.69 50-cent coin. So if they're in good condition, up to $18. This one's quite worn and pretty dirty, so I'll let that one go in that condition, but I'll keep my eye out for any fresher ones. Now these here, they made about 43 million of the Australia design in the 2000. This is a different type of coat of arms. From the 1912, this is the 1912 design of the coat of arms. So it's a bit of a throwback. If you've got a little bit of doubling down the back of the kangaroo, it's called a Roozilla or Godzilla, and that adds a bit of value. So let's just check it out here. What do we got? $2.50 to $7 if it's got that, but this one doesn't have extra spikiness on the back of the kangaroo. Another 2000, oh, it was 2010, wasn't it? We're looking for the incused flag on these 2000s, and that means the cross pieces, the center pieces, and the diagonals, if they're lower down, if it's sunken down into the coin, that makes this coin worth more. Unfortunately, this one's not, but if it does have that, $36 to $95 is a recently sold price range on the incused flag versions. What have we got? 2 coins to go. 74, a bit of a lower mintage year. What have we got on these? $2.30 to $31. I'll put that aside. And 1971 to finish off. But from that roll of coins, 1974, there we go. 1974, low mintage date. Pretty worn again, but it's a coin that has been in circulation for a long time. Standard coins can be very valuable to coin collectors. Now, there's 2 main factors that come into the price of coins: supply and demand. Now, it's hard to know the demand, but you do know the supply of coins if you do a bit of research. And if you know they've got a low supply of particular years of coins, just your standard issue coins, then they can be worth a lot more to coin collectors. Now, here's a good example. So the 2011 $2 coin, just your standard issue coin with the Aboriginal elder on it, $5 to $79.50 is a recently sold price range of those particular coins to coin collectors. So in really good condition, up to $80 pretty much. And even in circulating condition, $5. So they made 1.8 million, and that sounds like a fair few, but for each year, some years they can mint hundreds of millions. So that is quite a low number, and that makes it puts it in the rare category. So if you want to know which years to look for, I've got Coin Value List that outlines all of that, but you can also look it up on sites like the Royal Australian Mint website and do a bit of research, watch lots of videos, and you can come across the information in all sorts of different ways. But yes, supply and demand drives price, and the supply is something that you can look at. Demand, you sort of just learn over time, and you sort of figure it out by what's going on with the prices. The prices keep going up and up and up. And sometimes even higher mintage coins they made a lot of, they can sell for a fair price too, and that's because the demand is high. There's lots of people that love that design, they want them, and they keep on paying for it, and the supply gets a little bit smaller because so many people are after them. But I've got a $2 coin roll right here. We'll jump into this lot, so $50 worth of $2 coins. We'll check through here, see if we can find a 2011 $2 coin, but any of the other coins listed. So those lists are available through the link in my account if you're interested in those. But we'll get the bag into position, and we'll get the roll open, and away we go. Hopefully you've been having a great day and things are going well for you. Ooh, a bit hard to sort of see the edge of the paper. Here we go. Released. Now, one thing with the $2 coins that's quite easy, especially for beginners, is the color. The color pops out and it makes it easy to identify which ones to maybe hold on to. So I tend to hold on to all the colored coins, but there are some years that are just like these coins. Well, this one here, got the Aboriginal elder on it. And this one, they only had the initials of the designer of this side of the coin on the first 2 years. So Horst Hahn, so HH right there, and it's only on the 1988s and 1989s. Now, some people, well, there's a few scammers that try to pass them off as rare because they're not on all of the coins, but they made tons of them, made 131 million? I think it was 161 million, I think, in 1988, and 31 million in 1989. So they made lots of those, so I let those go. And in this roll of coins, in this lot of coins right here, there will be a number of them, probably about 4 or 5. So we'll keep an eye out for those ones just to count them up. But unfortunately, not rare. There's another one right there. So this will be probably a 1988 because they made a lot more in 1988 than they did in 1989, but still made a ton then too. There we go. There's another one right there. Bit hard to sort of see because there's a bit of green. So that's, what, 3 so far. Got to keep an eye out for those 2011s, don't we? Want to snag one of those because that's one of the lowest mintage. The 2011 with the older on it, that's one of the ones they didn't make many of at all. Here's another one of the initial coins from 1988. That's 4 up to now. $20.20. I'll just check the list to make sure it's not one on the list. There's lots of different 2020 coins, but they're all coloured coins. So the standard issue coin. Oh, I probably should have checked the other side. No, I think I did see the other side. There we go. There's number 5 of the initial coins, 1988. So last little patch here. Might get a little bit more zoom in here. This one's a bit dirty. $2004. Last one, 2002. So no keepers from that little lot of coins. But yes, there's lots of $2 coins. It's actually 2 pages worth of them on the $2 coin value list. So this is one of the coloured coins, the honeybee coins. So a honeybee coin, 2022, I think it was. Yes, there it is right there. So recent selling price range on these. I'll just find it. Where is it? 2022. There we go. $3.50 to $9.50 is a recent selling price range of this particular coin. You can buy it on sites like eBay. Cool. Oh yeah, a bag of dollars. Let's see if I can find something to add to the collection from this bag. I think I will. I think I'll find something. Let's get into it. We'll put the list to the side so we can keep an eye on it. But let's get this bag unlocked and we'll check through them carefully. There's a few freshish ones. Oh, I can see King Charles there. So that's probably a keeper to add to the collection. Probably a 2024. Well, this one is on the top as well. So there's probably a couple of them. 2024 with, there we go, Bluey coins. So what do we got price-wise on these? The Bluey 2024, $3 to $8 is a recently sold price range on those coins. So there you go. Cool. Just get a little bit more zoom so we can see the dates and things like that. 2005, bit of a lower mintage year, the 2005 with the kangaroos. I'll just check that one out here. $2.25 to $13, so 2 so far. Apparently some of these can be rotated. Let's check this one, not rotated. Well, this one's in fairly nice condition. Now, they made a lot of this coin in 1986, I think it was, yeah, 1986. So I don't track the values of these, of the high mintage coins, ones they made lots of, because supply and demand drives price. And if there's a lot high supply, price is usually low. But any coin in really good condition is worth more than face value. And this one is in really nice condition for a coin that's in circulation. So I'll definitely add that to my collection. So I'll put that aside. Very nice. 3 keepers. Man, that's good. And we've only just started pretty much. Check this one for the missing leg on the 3rd kangaroo. Not missing. All right. This is good. Another 2015, just checking that for missing. Like, is that some of the date missing? No. No. What have we got? 2010. Another 2024, and this one doesn't have Bluey on it. It's just got the kangaroos, but these have got a little bit of value as well. So let's check it out. 2024 Mob of Roos, they refer to this one. There it is. $2.20 to $6 is a recent selling price range on those. Cool. 2023 King Charles, the first time that King Charles appeared on the coin. So these were produced late 2023. The first Australian decimal coins to have his image on it. So there you go. 2023, I'll just find it on the list too. There it is, $2 to $6. 2 to go, 85, and last one, 2011. So there you go. Let's have a look at that. Pretty happy with that. So 5 coins right there. Pick of the bunch. Well, this one's got a little bit of some sort of tarnishing, the Bluey coin. Maybe this one here, any coin in really nice condition. Oh, I appreciate that. So that's really cool. I'll check my collection out, see if it is better than the one I've got in my collection. I'll probably still keep it anyway. Cool. Ooh, yeah, up to $12.50 is a recent selling price range for these 50-cent coins because they didn't make many of this particular design in 2019. So they changed the design from this one to another one in 2019. So they made some of these and a few more of the other design. But this one here, Ian Rank Broadley, IRB, under the neck of the Queen, designed this image of the Queen. And there's another image which was done by Jody Clark, so JC. And that one's got a necklace on the Queen. But they didn't make many of these, so that makes these worth between $3.50 and $12.50 to coin collectors. And here it is on the list. Let's check it out right here. So 2019, IRB, there's the JC underneath, but $3.50 to $12.50 for this particular design. They made 1.1 million, and that's not very many coins for circulation, to be put into circulation in Australia. So it's just your standard design. But yeah, if it's got that image of the Queen, this is the last year that that image of the Queen was on the coin. So I think they started at around about 2001 or something like that with this image of the Queen, and then they changed it over in 2019. So the last time it's on the coins. And that's why the price is a little bit higher. Let's get that aside. We'll keep that one there. And I've got a roll of 50-cent coins to search through. So we'll see if we can find something cool like that in this roll of 50-cent coins. Move the bag down in position and we'll get this one open. So hopefully you've been having a great day. Let's do this. All right, maybe a little bit more zoom to see the dates we need to see. A bit hard to see the date on that one. That one's probably been on a road and maybe driven over a few times. Bit hard to tell. Oops, the bag. 79, we'll check this one for the double bar behind the emu's head. So in that little void behind the emu's head, if it's got two little lines of metal, raised bits of metal, that one doesn't. But if it does, on a 979, worth more. Whoops. 1994. They made a fair few of this commemorative design. I think it was the year of the family of that one. 2018, a bit of a lower mintage year as well. So I'll check the prices on these ones here. $2.10 to $9.50. So I'll put that aside. Cool. Another year of the family. 2016, it's just looking fairly fresh. Any coin in good condition is worth holding on to, although I'll put it aside to have a closer inspection after the search. Here we go. Now, the 2010s, there was two different designs. So this one here, Celebrate What's Great Australia Day. They had this design, and they also had the standard issue design as well. So if you find this design in a 2010, you check it for rotations. So what you do, you hold it at the top and the bottom, if it's a 2010, and you turn it around, and if the Queen's nose is not pointing to 3 o'clock, if it's pointing in a different direction, then they are worth holding on to. Yeah, worth a fair bit more. So here we go, another 2018, put that aside. Ooh, pretty dirty, yuck. And last coin, 1975, higher mintage year, so we'll let that one go. Good luck with your searches. Hopefully you find some cool ones to add to your collection. My favourite group of coins to search for, the Centenary of Federation State and Territory coins from 2001. These coins were produced for circulation, so you can find them in your change, and there's 9 different designs. So yeah, there we go, 2001 on the back there. This is the Queensland coin. You can see Queensland written right about there. And yep, there was one for each state and territory, and also Norfolk Island. Different designs, really cool coins. Recent selling price range on the coins individually, $3 to $11.50. And if you want to buy the sets of the coins, $35 to $80 is a recent selling price range for the whole complete set of 9 coins. Oh, they're so cool to find. Keep an eye for those ones for sure. That one's the Queensland. That's a really cool design, isn't it? So I've got a roll of 20-cent coins right here. So I'm going to jump into this one and see if we can snag maybe one of those coins. I'd love one of those, but anything else that's on the 20-cent coin list. So let's see how we go. 20-cent coins, few and far between. It's a bit hard to find some of the keeper coins in 20s, which is fine. You just got to search a little bit more. But makes it more rewarding, I suppose. But yeah, those coins, oh, I love those. Yeah, Centenary Federation. The 50-cent coins had versions too, but they had all coat of arms. So, but yeah, those 20s, cool, very cool. Let's go. Focus, dates. 2008, we look for the wave gap. So where I'm talking about with the wave gap, get the little pointer. We'll get a little bit of zoom as well so we can see exactly what I'm talking about. This little point of wave comes around and it points right in at the platypus's head, and it touches the platypus's head on most of the 2008s. Sometimes that point of wave stops a bit further back about here, and there's a gap through there. So it's referred to as a wave gap. $3.20 to $10, just checking the list again to confirm that. $3.20 to $10 is a recent selling price range on the wave gaps. This is a 1966. What you look for on these, you look for a wavy baseline, so a bit of a cursive type 2 across the bottom of the 2 here, this top part of it. If you can find that, a recent selling price range on those, $400 to $900. So well worth. Here we go. We've got another chance. 1966. So it was only on very few of the 1966 coins. Just checking that one there. Flat and straight. Unfortunately, not the wavy baseline. 1981. Fairly fresh condition. And if the left-hand claw is half the size, no, it's not. So no, it's not. So if it was half the size, it was minted in Canada. So that's the tell on why or where those coins were minted, is the left-hand claw half the size. Oh, here we go, 2001. Now, some of these, this is a 2001, just a standard issue coin. These can have a rotation, I believe. So let's go. Let's check this one out. Not rotated. That was a 1981, but it's pretty dirty. Yeah, not a Canadian minted. So where I'm looking, these little claws, there's 4 of them. And if the left-hand one over here is half the size of the other ones, then it is Canadian minted. So it's full size. It comes up to the 2 there. Only got a couple of coins to go. My bag's overflowing. So let's check this one for rotations. I don't think so. I'll just check that again. Top and the bottom, twirl around, try and keep it steady. Yeah, 3 o'clock. 2011, but yes, ooh, these coins right here. Look at that, cool design. I think it was student design. So there was a competition and students could enter their design for their state, and winners were chosen, and those designs ended up on the coins. So look at that, that's really cool. Congratulations. I don't know the name off the top of my head of the winner, but you can search it online and find out. But that is cool. Well done to whoever did that. That's really cool. And it's immortalized in the coin. The 20-cent coins from now on forever. Cool. Something to keep your eye out for, the double bar. That little line and that little line, double bar, 1979 and 1980 50-cent coins here in Australia. If it's got those little double bars, the one there and one there behind the emu's head, they are worth more than just 50 cents to coin collectors. Oh, coin. But up here, this is the section of the coin. We'll get this roll of 50-cent coins open. We'll check through them all. There might be some 79s and 80s in that lot right there. So let's do this. I hope you've been having a great day. Let's go. The paper, there's $10 worth. So we've got, how many chances is that? That's 20. 20 chances of finding something. It's not just the double bars to look for. There's tons of things on the 50-cent coins. But we look for the years. I tend to look for the years on the back of the coin over here. And some have special designs like this, so they're pretty easy to identify. They made a lot of this particular design, but you look for a blob of metal on the bottom of the robe here on this gentleman. Adds a bit of value, but this one doesn't have it. You can also get a blob on the helmet up here. So those two things add a bit of value to coin collectors. That one obviously didn't have it. Interesting design right here. Again, they made a lot of these. This is a volunteer's coin. What year is it? 2003. So I made a lot of those, but I'll let that go personally myself. But if you're starting out, you might want to add one of those to your collection. 2017, that's a bit of a lower mintage year. They didn't make as many, so it's on the coin value list. What have we got price-wise? $1.50 to $16.50 is a recently sold price range on those particular 50-cent coins. Haven't found any 79s or 80s yet. This one's in pretty good condition. So this is 1981. They made a fair few of these, so I don't usually hold on to them. I've got a fair few in really nice condition, and this one's in really nice condition too. So I might hold on to this one. Look at that. Any coin in really good condition is worth holding on to. That's very nice. Yes, there we go. Cool. There we go. Got a 1980, so we'll turn this one over. We'll see if we can find a double bar. Let's zoom in on that section of the coin where we need to look. Yeah, it's that section right there, but there's no lines. See that? And that's why they're worth a bit more because there's not that many of them with it. So that's why it adds value. Supply and demand drives price. Probably a little bit closer, aren't we, with the zoom? Last coin right here, 1975. I think the find of that lot is probably this one here. Just a really nice condition coin, especially for a coin from 1981. That was a fair while ago. What else do we put aside? 2017. That's a lower vintage coin, so it's in the scarce range. But I like coins in really nice condition, and that's cool.